Yes, we're going to get underway.
Cool.
Right. Excellent stuff.
Let's get this show on the road, team, because this is pretty awesome. So we're going to hit it. We're going to hit it good. And here we go. So we're going to kick it off from... It's cool to see you, Paula. Cool. Being present in your busy schedule. This is what it's all about. Now, the key thing here is you make sure you're ready to rock. Make sure you're present. So what we're going to start doing is we're going to start practicing what we preach, all right? Because those are the keys. You practice what you preach because it's kind of exciting to do that. So we're here. How to be present in your busy schedule. Now, a couple of things that I want to make sure that we chat through here is that the key for you is the one thing you can control. There's one thing you can control in life, and that's this moment right here. This moment right here, and this moment right here. That is the only thing that you can control in life.
Yes.
So you might as well start doing that now. And the question to ask yourself is, what can I do right here, right now? What can I do right here, right now to improve my life? And you can be totally present in this moment is what you can do to be able to take charge of your life, to be able to control the controllables, which is you. And so the key thing is about you being present right here, right now. So whatever it is that you need to do, you make sure that you're getting yourself ready to go. Because our goal by the end of this presentation,
yes,
by the end of this awesomeness and our interactions with you, because it's two-way, remember, is we're going to let you know the secrets of being present, all right? Because everyone goes, yeah, I know that. Yeah. Do you do it? No, you don't.
Good question.
You don't. And so the thing is, there's a gap, and the secret is in that gap, all right? That's where the real deal is. So our goal is to let you in on those particular secrets on the way through. Now, if you stay until the end, we have got for you a special gift. We have got for you a special gift so that way you can make sure that we are setting you up to go forward to the next level of what you want to do. Now, yes, of course I am. Right, so we're going to give you a heads up because just a little heads up is that we get a little bit excited.
Just a little.
All right? Just a little bit excited. So
yes,
you can probably hear it. Hopefully you can, because if not, like, boring, get off. It's probably not one of those other webinars. Anyway, we do get a bit animated, so there, might be a few little handy things happening, and we'll point things and do things at you and those kind of things. So go with it.
Yes.
Be present, be here. We might talk over each other, all right? Because we get a bit excited.
It's
like, oh! And we kind of, you need to hear whatever it is that we're thinking at that time. And yes, we may swear a little bit. Get over it. You're okay. If you get caught up on it, your response, not ours. All right? So, yeah, we might swear a little bit on the way through. Just to add things. So, let's come right here, right now. Take this moment, right here, right now. Now, remove all the distractions. Okay? So, if you need to put the cat in the next room, put the cat in the next room. If you need to put the kids in the next room, or put them down the road, do that too. You need to grab yourself a pen and paper, do it. Because this is our life's work. All right, this is our life's work, and we're really, really passionate about it. So we want to share this with you. Good, the kids down the road somewhere or in the cupboard. Good work, King. So what we want to make sure is that this is our life's work. We are so passionate about it. We love it. We love what we do, and we want to share that with you right here, right now. So for us to have a massive impact on you, for you to receive the biggest impact possible, be here, be present. One of the ways that I do that is to make sure that I have one of these with me as well. All right, so we're in the space together, okay? So we're going to start practicing what we preach. We're going to do it, and we're going to do it together, because the thing that we do here is to make sure that what we use and what we do with all our clients is what we do as well. It works for us. It works for our clients. It's going to work for you. I'd say guarantee. Yes, not me too, but it does.
Yes.
Okay? So that's why we're here doing what we do, because we know it works, and we know it's going to work for you. So we're right here. You've got your happy little pen. You've got something to write on, and that way we can all be here. You've got your coffee, your tea, your water, anything else that you need.
Yes.
Whatever time of day it is, you make sure that you are right here with us. Hokey smokies. So
excellent.
It is absolutely tried, tested in whatever we do. Now, we've got the amazing Dr. Elizabeth PRITCHARD here, which is kind of exciting, really, because she's coached over 700 leaders, which means that, well, it's probably more actually in the last couple of months. It's probably nearly twice that, to be honest. So a lot of leaders, researchers, and health professionals that she's coached, published out there internationally, got some good rep, worked with places like Hudson Institute of Medical Research and their emerging leaders teams, Bionics Institute and their leaders that are coming through, Monash University, and many, many more. Now, Elizabeth has over 3 decades of working in STEM.
Exciting.
That rest. Over 3 decades of working with leaders, researchers, and health professionals in STEM.
Yes.
So, fair amount of information, fair amount of experience, fair amount of research, fair amount of ability to be able to work you through what it is that we're doing right here.
Cool.
So, my name, as you can tell, is Christy Burns. Yes, I've played hockey for my country, New Zealand. I did it for 13 years. And the key thing here is that what I do is everything I do is practical, right? Yep, we all need the theory. We need that without a doubt. And then we get it going as soon as possible. So the thing that I'm going to bring to you is the fact that we can make this practical and we can make it happen straight away.
Yes.
Managed national programs in exercise science, sports psychology back home in New Zealand. Coached a fair few people from New Zealand School of Dance, Royal New Zealand Ballet, and also worked at Hudson Institute of Medical Research, Bionics, and Monash University, and many, many, many more. There's people on here that we work with from all over the place. We're proud to work with them. They're proud to work with us, just saying. So what we do, they do, and they carry on and have massive successes. Thank you so much, Kimet.
Thank you, Kimet.
So we've done a few things right, done a lot of things right, actually, which is kind of cool, which is kind of the thing that we do here is when we're talking about being present is it's something to really think about to be able to go, whoosh. So sometimes you need to be able to take that little bit of time out, have your little drink,
have some fun,
taste it, smell it, have some fun, hang out with the people that are doing it, hang out with the people that are the top. Helen Clark here, all right? Hang out with people like her because she's doing it, she's living it, all right?
Right Honourable Helen Clark.
Yes, the Right Honourable Helen Clark, past Prime Minister of New Zealand. And the thing we do here is we have fun with what we're doing. We keep healthy mentally, physically, emotionally, and we do what we say we do. We carry through with it, and that's what we get our clients to do as well. Yes. So we've done a fair few things right. On the other side of that, just to let you know that we're not perfect, and we are nearly, is we've done a few things wrong too.
Yes,
right?
Definitely.
So, yeah, they will be here in a moment. You just watch. So, had some burnout. Both of us at different times have gone through burnout, all right? And we'll tell you some of those stories on the way through of if you carry on doing some of the things that you might be doing, that's what's going to happen. And all those things too of saying, yes, I'll do that, and pouring more and more and more and more and more into a plate when we don't actually have the time ourselves to do it, right? We need to slow down. We didn't. We let those old habits run through and then got to the state of going, oh my God, what am I doing? And this is too much, too hard. And the old stressy stuff starts happening. Burnout happens and nothing is present in this life because it's go, 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 go. What we do is we get into worry and anxiety because we're too busy thinking about what shoulda, coulda, woulda happened. And now we're too busy also worrying about what might never happen out in front. And that's the problem of doing these things wrong. And we've done them. So we want to share those with you. All right. We want to share them with you. So being present. Now, the thing about being present is to come into it right here, right now. Is to go, it's about a conscious awareness of right here, right now. So if you just stop, just stop. What do you hear? What do you notice? What do you feel? All of these things. Yes. It's about living in this moment right here. Not what happened earlier this morning, not what might happen later this afternoon or tonight or the rest of your day. It's about right here. So we're living in this moment right here. And you're aware, you're mindful of what is going on. So you have your tarting is turned on, your ears turned on, your eyes turned on. You can smell it, taste it, feel it, all those things. We're very mindful. We have got this to be consciously here in this moment. Now, the awesomest thing is that your life becomes amplified when you are totally in the moment. Yeah. You are at your best.
Yes.
When you are in the moment. When you are sitting in that space of being right here, right now, and you're going, you know what, I can smell that, I can hear that, I can feel that. I know what my decisions are. I can feel them going through my head. I can hear myself saying things to myself. I can understand what I'm doing. I can hear what that person's saying. And I can get a decision happening in my head. I can work out who, what, where, when, why, how, and then I can make that decision. That's because you're being present.
Yes.
That's because you are being consciously aware in this moment in time of here, this moment. And if you don't, boy, oh boy, oh boy, your life is going to look like that picture right there in front of you.
Yes. Been there.
The cost. There's a massive cost. If you do not bring yourself into this moment, if you do not take control of your life and get into this moment and be present right here, right now, you will have a lack of connection, and that's with yourself and others. Imagine having that lack of connection with yourself, your colleagues, your teams, your family, your friends, everybody out there. It makes life really, really hard.
Yes.
Life lacks content. There's no substance because you're too busy racing. You're too busy worrying. You've got too much stuff going through your head. Nothing's got any substance. You can't feel it. You can't hear it. You can't see it. You don't notice anything. And it's just like, no meaning, no purpose. And that's kind of shit. If you have no meaning and no purpose in your life, what the hell are you doing? So we really need to come into it right here, right now. And if you stay in that, the cost is the fact that you're going to have physical illness, you are going to have anxiety, you are going to be sad, and you are going to have depression going on as well. So the thing you need to think about is if your life looks like that picture right here, right now in front of your face, you're in the right place, sunshine. You really are. You're in the right place for what's going on. Now, throw in that checkbox. You're going to put in that checkbox, how do you act when things are getting chaotic? You know, like when you're like, oh my gosh, and this is like, you're racing your head and you're back there going, oh my gosh, this should have, could have, would have happened, I didn't do that, and then this is going to happen out there, and then I need to do this, and this is killing me, I hate this shit. So, how do you act? Put in the chat box, how do you act when things are getting chaotic in your life? How do you act when things are getting chaotic in your life? Throw them into the chat box, let us know. And then that way we can give you some really specific examples. We can give you some really key points. All right. So how do things look in your life when things are getting chaotic? Short and sharp. Yep. Things are really short and sharp. The hustle, the bustle. Okay. Is it that kind of thing? Come on, peeps. Where's your, there we go. Heart starts beating faster. Yeah. Revisit my time management tips, to-do list. What happens when that to-do list, this to-do list? I'll be with you in just a tick. What happens when your to-do list, I can't really see it.
You can, all the lines.
Looks like that.
Endless to-do list, procrastination, self-doubt.
Just do. You have to do that, and you have to do this, and you have to do this, and then you have to do the next thing, and you have to do the next thing, and you have to do this thing.
Head to the bush. Yeah, but what happens before that? How do you recognise it?
This is the stuff here, peeps, when it's like, yeah. Think about it. Put yourself into that moment, because you've got to have the awareness of what's going on first to even notice it. Yeah. Because when the strategies that we give you, that tightness, exactly, yeah, it's like, and then you start breathing from up here, and then this thing runs out of oxygen, and you're like, I have no willpower to do anything now, because it's like, I'm out.
Yes.
Those decisions, you know, when you get really stressy and life gets chaotic, you get dumber.
Yeah, we miss the detail, like Andy was saying. We miss detail, miss the opportunities. Yeah. We miss engagement with others. Yes.
And we know this, all right? You go, yes, I know this. And many of you put things in place. It's the consistency. It's the catching it earlier before it even gets to that level. It's the ability to go, you know what? If I do this and this, that won't happen. And that's the deal. So when we get that ability to tap in and start seeing it, yeah, we get really short, sharp breaths that are going on. And that thing that we walk around with, it's really uncomfortable. And then we don't think. And then we don't produce the goods. So what we want to do here is to go, okay, after doing this for over 20 years, we've actually been doing this for 30. I'm the young one, actually. So over 30 years we've been
30 years of experience coming your way, people. You've got 50 years, 55 years between us of experience.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Now, listen to this. The rule book goes out the window, right? This is one of my philosophies in life.
Yes.
There are no rule books. Some of you might have issues with that, and that's okay. We'll talk about that later. You don't have to be busy all the time. You do not have to be busy all the time. You don't need to be exhausted at the end of the day. Yeah.
Valid.
You don't have to lose control of your day. And you don't have to live a mindful life. Notice the difference there. Okay? You don't have to be busy all the time. You don't need to be exhausted at the end of every day. You don't need to lose control of your day. And you don't have to live a life mindful. Right? Now, those are the things. Those are the rules. So tap those into your little rules. Okay? These are the things to go, you know what? This is, if you want a rule book, put these in it. I hate rule books. Put these in it. These are the things you live by. These are the things that you start thinking, actually, I can do that. We did discover this the hard way, I must admit. All right? I used to go and go, teaching at the gym, lecturing, being in charge of 5 programs, being in charge of staff. Then I'd go back to the gym at night and teach there again. I'd already taught first thing in the morning. And then I'd carry on and eat shit food because I'd eat it on the run. I'd drink Powerade and coffee like there was no tomorrow. And then wonder why this thing was like, I couldn't sleep. And then I'd be like, oh, I didn't really sleep. Oh my gosh, I only got 3 hours sleep. Now I have to get up today. And then I have to teach a class and I have to drive into the city and I have to know all the tracks. And oh my God, how do I do this? And then I've got to write an exam, and then I've got to take these students through this lecture, and then I've got to cover for someone else, and then I've got to have an interview with a staff member and have a staff meeting, and then, oh shit, I've got another class to teach that night. I'm like, yeah, this body's not liking this right now. So we did it the hard way, right? And Elizabeth will tell you a few stories on the way through too. So we did. You're going to learn from our mistakes because I do not want you to go through the same.
Yeah.
We don't want you to go through the same. That's why we're here doing what we do.
Yes.
So the hard way is when you keep pushing yourself, right? The hard way is when it's like, just keep pushing. And these are examples from both of us, to be honest, right?
Yeah.
And if I can say so, Elizabeth did have this thing that she believed that she never had enough time to do anything.
Yeah.
Okay?
Absolutely.
Because freaking to-do list.
My to-do list was enormous. Never got to the end.
So it's a massive to-do list, never having enough time to do anything. Both of us did everything for other people, right, in our lives. Family, friends, aunties, uncles, cousins, bro, students, colleagues, everything. We just did stuff for everybody else and didn't worry about this here. And always put ourselves last. And then believed going, I have a hard deadline, so I just have to do it. I have to do it because there's a hard deadline and everybody else needs it done and they need it done regardless. It doesn't matter what I have going on in my life. I have to make sure that I'm at their beck and call. And yes, I'm filling in a few extra words because that's what the attitude says. I'm just not worthy and I'm going to do it. And then it will go, oh, they'll like me. And that's the hard way of doing life. But what we can tell you is that when we put this stuff into place, and this was over a very short space of time that Elizabeth worked with this person, right? Doing some really amazing techniques and strategies that we're going to take you through in just 2 seconds, all right? Kicked off 10 minutes of mindfulness exercise in the day, and these things were jogged in this person's mind. It's like she knew what to do, she didn't do it. So when you're working in that space, and so Elizabeth was like, you know what, I'm going to coach you through this. So Elizabeth's coach, she was there, and I was like asking really good, clever questions. And she's like, oh, shit, I can do this. Oh, if I put this in place, this will happen. And then Elizabeth jumps in, what about this? What about this? What about this? How could you do this? How can we take you to that level instead of just being here? She did it. And then when you get comments of like, oh my gosh, I'm truly focused and tuned in today. And when this person's got a really high level job, and I'm not saying, you know, any jobs against any other job, but she's working in some critical situations, life and death situations, literally. And she's able to go, I am totally tuned in. I have clarity of thinking and I finish my day and I can get out to my car at the end of the shift and go, wow, I'm still feeling pretty damn good.
Yes.
Kind of doing something right. It's bloody awesome, really, isn't it?
And you can do this too.
You can,
Yeah.
right? It's not hard. So what we're going to take you right through, right here, right now, is these 3 keys. Now, the first thing to do is to make sure on this first key is that you pause, all right? Push that pause button. So your number 1 key point here for you to take on board is to pause. Now, you pause between tasks.
That wasn't a technical hitch. That was a pause.
You pause between tasks. So you're typey, sending emails, doing some of your to-do list, and then you go, wow, cool. Write that off. And then you might get on with whatever it is that you do. Yes. Now that took,
about 3 seconds.
3 seconds. 3 seconds. All right. Sound like a Kiwi. Then other times to pause is when you're feeling pressured. You know, like that to-do list, you got this to do and that to do, and you got a meeting and you got this to take on, and then you got this to do, and then you got your own training and you want to fit this in, and then you got to go to Christmas and do some Christmas shopping, and then you've got to do this, and then you got to come back home and do la 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 la. I hate this. I'm like, dude, it's not me anymore, right? When you're feeling pressured, pause. I didn't say stop. I said pause. Because when we pause, that happens.
Yeah.
And then we can go again. 2 seconds, team. 2 seconds of your life, all right? Or when those big moments arise, you know, like, yeah, and that'll rattle through your ears and through the microphone. When things like happen, when the shit hits the fan, whatever it might be, when something big happens and you're like, oh, shit. Or you go, just pause at that moment, because this thing has either rushed back there to something similar that happened and went, oh my gosh, this happened last time and that was really bad. Or it's going to run off because it wants to protect you and it wants to keep you safe and go, oh my gosh, this might happen, that might happen too. Holy shit. Oh my gosh. And then this might happen and then, oh, it's really bad. That's what our top 6 inches does for us. Our critter brain wants to protect you and keep you safe. Usually very handy, sometimes not. These are the times when it's sometimes not, and so you push the pause button. Because at that point, for about 3 seconds, you can go, whoa, what do I need to do? Okay, I'll do this. Because at that point, it's just created that clarity for you to be able to have a thought process to happen. And that's what you want, is to have a thought process. When you push pause, you create space for thought process to happen.
Yes.
It's kind of cool, eh?
Absolutely.
So the thing here is, imagine that you just need to pause. Imagine if you paused 2 or 3 times a day for, say, 30 seconds to a maximum of 2 minutes. Imagine that, because you're going to get to the end of the day with some energy. You're going to go, wow, I could actually do the things that I want to. And then I would go, well, I've just paused at that point when they're going, do this, do that, we need this, we need the next thing done, you need to have this done by here, we need this done. And you go, take back my talkie stick. How about I can get that one done by Thursday afternoon. That one I probably can't get done this week, but I can do the following week, unless, of course, you can find someone else to do that. That would be handy. And yeah, we could probably have a 15-minute meeting to discuss that point on Tuesday morning. Imagine doing that. Imagine taking back the talkie stick, because you've gone pause, created clarity of thought. You've got time for that clarity of thought to take place. That's what pause does for you, right? And as I said before, I never used to pause. I'd be like, go, 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 because I thought I needed to be accepted, and that was the issue. So if you've got that, don't do it. Learn from my mistakes, because it's really stupid, and you end up burning out. Now, I love this bit. This is my ultimate in life. I do this all the time. Yes. I do it naturally.
Yes, you do.
Now, engage your senses. So drinking, eating, smelling. So we get coffee. Okay, so that's that freaky weird look. I can smell the beans when I grind them. When I make the coffee, all I'm doing is smelling it and I'm hearing it. One of my favorite sounds is the sound of a coffee grinder. The second sound that I love is the sound of a bubbles cork. When I hear, I'm like, ooh, right? I can smell coffee a mile away. Right? It tastes good. I see it. I smell it. I taste it. I feel it. I touch it. I have it in these cups because they have no handles on them. Right? I love drinking out of them. So if we do that with our food, we do that when we're brushing our teeth. We do that when we're even in a meeting. When you're really, really present,
Yes.
you see that person. You look at them when they're talking. You're there. You're writing things down. When we do this, it gets us in the moment and we can write things down because then we're totally present. We're engaged with what we're doing. And I know some of you are like, I can't have that many notebooks. You'll learn better when you use this thing, when you use the talkie stick and you write with it. It allows you to be present and in the moment. You can hear people, you can see people, you can feel the seat that you're sitting in. When you go into your meeting, sit in the chair. When you even when I'm here, think about how it feels right here, right now, with the back of that seat on you, your butt on that chair, or if you're sitting on the floor, what does it feel like? Right where you are, right here, right now. Feel it. What can you hear? What can you smell? Any of those kinds of things, right? And that's the key point, is that when you take that moment, you can still be present, you can still hear and listen to what's going on, and you consciously tap in, as we said right at the beginning. This is about conscious choice.
Yes.
This is you making a conscious effort right here. So you consciously look at that person, you consciously turn your two taringas on, your two ears, you got two of these and one of these. Ratio means talk half as much as you listen, all right? Now, when you do these consistently, I get to the end of the day, I'm like, whoa, I got my to-do list done. And my team, it does look like that more often than not, but I get it done because it's fun. And I engage in my senses. So it's these kinds of things. All right, is when we do this. Now, imagine when you are sitting, eating, drinking, smelling, having your coffee, doing all these things of going, oh, this is so cool. One of the coolest things is you can grab yourself a little plant like this, all right? Just of a tree, just whatever, just even the plant, whatever, just a plant. And you can feel it. And it's kind of spiky and it feels sort of plasticky, but it's not. It's real because we took it off the tree this morning. Right? So you can feel it. It smells like pine. You know that smell of Christmas trees? Oh my gosh, those real Christmas trees, when you smell those, that helps you to be present. That's when you engage your senses. And then you feel it. And then you look at it and it's cool green color. And you're like, wow, look at all that. It's kind of cool. It's kind of a matte green. It's not a bright green. And it smells really good. Didn't take us too long, did it? We can do that again.
And that's, Montha's just asked a question, and that links into that as well.
Yeah. I have this with me. Yeah, well, hence I have an ethnic advantage with my surname. And it's a rugby ball. It's a stress ball. And I love this thing, all right? And I will squeeze it, and I can feel it, and I can hear it. And I like doing, you might know, that squeaky noise that you hear. It's kind of funny. So I play with that all the time. The other thing I do is I have this pen, and it's a heavier pen, and it's really soft on there, and it's really cool, and it's got a cool little thing, so when on my touch screen I can touchy on my phone and do stuff as well. It's really heavy and I love it. And I don't do that with my pen because that annoys people, and it annoys me. So I do these things. So when we're in a virtual space, I have this lucky pen, awesome pen that I love. I have this thing sitting next to me, and you've probably seen it fly around the thing because I tend to talk with it too, even when I am doing these sessions. Have something like this. Have your coffee. You can smell it. You can see it. And you know the coolest thing, if you're sitting by a window, which I'm not right now, I've got awesome lights and a camera in front of me, when you're sitting there, is you can look out and go, wow, green tree, blue sky, core, blimey, that's pretty sensational, isn't it? And if you've got your ears on or people are talking on Zoom, you can actually do that and look out the window. Now, I kind of look like I'm looking at you, but I'm not, right? And you can do that with people because you go, okay, I'm going to engage in what they're saying, and you can be present and hear and make a conscious choice to be here, and then you can go zhoosh over the top and you can look out that window. Now, these things will give you so much energy. You can do them for 30 seconds. You can do them for 2 minutes. Now, the key thing that I want to make sure of here is that you make a conscious choice to engage all of this, that you push the pause button.
Yes.
It's a pause, even 3 seconds, and you consciously choose to go, I am going to stop and smell the roses and play with my piece of plant, or smell it, smell my coffee, do all these things. It's a conscious choice to have these things in front of you. It's not like, oh, I didn't have the minutes, I couldn't do it. You can do these with anything. You can use your senses, shower, brushing your teeth, walking, drinking, eating, anything, anytime. That's how you do it.
Absolutely. And the exciting thing is that it's really simple. And yet people say, oh, yeah, but that's just common sense. Why do I need to get up early on a Saturday morning or listen to you and spend and invest an hour of time into listening to you about this? It's like, oh, yeah, I know that. It's like, but common sense is actually not that common.
Exactly.
And there's a whole book written on this. There's more than a whole book. There's a whole lot of studies around this. It's like, we know this stuff, but it stays in our heads and it stays up here and we don't do it. And even though it is simple and can take 2 seconds, 10 seconds, 2 minutes here, 2 minutes there, we just keep rushing through our day and we forget the strategies, like somebody said before. We forget the strategies that we've got that we know work. And so this is your reminder. This is your big red flag. This is your, hey, come on, let's do this. Let's keep doing this, because we've all come through some challenging times over this year, and we don't know if it's over or how it's going or how it's continuing. So it's like we still need to be present in everything that we do. And it's those simple things of, I can feel the shoes in my feet. I can feel my feet on the floor. I can feel my butt on the chair. All of those simple things, the fabric of your clothes. So you can be present. Doesn't matter if it's virtual or if you're in person. You can be present. Sometimes I spray things in the rooms, essential oils, so that we get a different olfactory sense.
Yeah.
You can take charge of those things and do those things to keep being your best and to decrease that chaos and be more present and have a way through.
Remember, the only thing you've got control of is this moment right here.
Yes.
This moment right here. You control it. No one else.
Yes. And that's the exciting thing, because you control this. This is the controllable. I am my controllable. Nobody else controls me. And Christine talks frequently in our other trainings and things about somebody else having the remote and you chop the cord. And it's like, I have my remote.
Yeah, man.
I'm in charge of this. So if I'm spinning off thinking about the future or worrying about the past, that's up to me to bring myself back to this moment, back to this amazing moment, to recognize what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, so that I can take myself forward in the day without buying into all the BS and the chaos. Okay. So you've got the 2 keys to start with: to pause, engaging your senses. Hugely, hugely valuable to do those things. Even like we said, just by cleaning your teeth, smell the toothpaste, taste the toothpaste, feel the vibrations of the brush on your teeth. You'll be surprised at how mindful you can be and how much space you can create by doing these things for these short periods of time. So the 3rd key that we're going to look at is this amazing one called unplug. Now people go, yeah, I know this. I'm like,
Do it.
Yep. Do you do it? When do you do it? How do you do it? Do you do it in meetings? Do you actually unplug in a meeting and are present with people there? Or are you one of those people that I find incredibly annoying and actually quite disrespectful when they're answering emails on their laptops while they're at the meeting, and they're going back to somebody on something else on here, and they're twittering something on something over there while we're having a meeting? Not conference presentations, because you Twitter and do stuff like that, that's fine. But it's about when we're having a meeting. It's like, how are you being present when you're having meetings? I hate Zoom meetings when people are like obviously doing work in the background. It's like, why are you in the meeting? Are we in the meeting or are we not? So we need to unplug in meetings between tasks. So we don't just go from computer to telephone to TV, back to the computer, to the telephone, because then we're just banging them all up together and stacking all of this chaos and this stimulation into our brains. And we need to be able to unplug. Also, when we're with others, do we unplug, or do we have our phones on the table all the time when we're out, now that we can be out, having coffee with people or out for dinner or at somebody's place or in the park? Do we unplug, or are we constantly on this and being elsewhere? Because one of the definitions of stress is being here but wanting to be there. And it's like, well, yeah, but I want to be out there. I want to be out there. And it was like, yeah, no, I want to be out there. I want to know what they're doing. I can't miss out on that. I might have FOMO. I was like, what I need to know the latest things. What's happening here? Who's doing that there? I was like, what is that research over there? And we constantly want to be plugging out there rather than plugging in here. And so I challenge you, if there's one thing you take from today, apart from the pause, engage your senses, it's also to unplug. These 3 key secrets of being present in your busy schedule. Now, again, this can take 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I sometimes go out for a whole day without my phone. And I might hear you go, what? How could you do that? I sometimes do it. I do it to make sure I'm not addicted to my phone. I do it to make sure that I am more present, because there's nothing else around me except where I am and what I'm doing. And when I walk down the road, and I look and I see things and I engage with people. And that's because I'm unplugged. I'm giving that person in front of me, whether it's a stranger, my colleagues, my family members, I'm giving them my full attention by being present. And yes, why aren't we more ballsy and saying, oh, are you wanting to find something in a meeting, or are you able to contribute to this meeting? Why are we not doing that? Why are we not calling each other out on that? We think that multitasking is the key, but it's not. There's a whole lot of things about switch tasking and multitasking and how overall unproductive it is long term. So we need to be really careful about this, and we need to think about, how do we unplug? Imagine if you get through the rest of the day and you lay your head on the bed and you haven't got that flickery thing happening in your head. Now, that flickery thing happens from television and screens. And I know, even though I don't want to admit it to myself sometimes, I know that if I watch television close and then just go to bed, I know that my head takes probably 20, 30 minutes to calm down. I can feel it because I'm good at being present. I can feel it flicking around and being a pain in my head. And it was like, oh, I was like, damn, I needed to turn that off earlier. And there's this wonderful little thing from Brenda Bouchard of 3-2-1, which is 3 hours before bedtime, no food. 2 hours before bedtime, no work. 1 hour before bedtime, no screens. And what that does is it allows us to come down. It allows us to be present, because if we're watching something or interacting with something, we're always wanting to be there. It's that whole thing again. It's the whole thing of stress. I'm here, but I want to be there. I want to be connecting with this person. I want to be watching this movie. I want to be interacting with someone on social media. I want to be finding out the latest things on whatever. But imagine if you can get through your day with energy, that you are connecting with people and not missing what they're saying to you. I know for myself, many times when my kids were growing up, it was just like I was so busy doing this thing and that thing and looking after these people and working and studying and doing the house and doing this and doing that and doing the rest. And then I would miss these things that the children would tell me. Those precious moments I would miss. I'd miss things that my partner told me. And it was like, oh dear, what was that? Oh, I'm sure I didn't hear that. How many arguments have started like that? We miss the joys. We miss the events. We miss the excitement. We miss the curiosity. We miss things because we're not unplugging. So imagine how cool that would be if we unplugged at certain times during the day and went from there. It would be amazing. So can I share a case study with you? Can I share a wee case study with you? I'm not going to tell you who the person is because we wouldn't do that. No. I'm going to share a case study with you. I'm going to call her Anne. Awesome. Cool. So Anne is a manager of a company and has a large number of staff, and she's connected with an international company. So she runs the Australian company. She's very, very skilled at what she does, very, very passionate about what she does, and loves her job. And she came to us for leadership development because she was working all hours. You can imagine if she's part of an international company, sometimes the board meetings are sort of 10 o'clock at night. And she was struggling between being the businesswoman, the mother, and being her. There was no time for her. There was just time for lots of stuff that was happening during the day, really important stuff. And she was struggling with the interconnections and the connections with her team because there was a lot of discord in her team as well. And there was a lot of sort of fragmented things happening. It was like, why are they doing that? They shouldn't be doing that. They should be doing this. And so there was a lot of things that she was missing. And like somebody was saying, when you're in this chaotic moment, you miss things along your way in your work. And she felt like she was constantly chasing her tail. And she was very distractible. Every time we had a session with her, a coaching session, she was very distractible. And it was like, are you here, Anne? Are you here? And I was like, oh, hang on. And so we had to teach her how to be present, how to set herself up, how to get into state and set herself up for the day. And she has done amazing things. She has totally learned to pause. She has totally learned to engage her senses. She has created her morning routine where she does a run on a certain way. And she goes, I smelt this today, and I smelt this today, and I said hello to this person today, and I noticed this today, and I saw this today. And she's engaging her senses on her run. It's awesome because she began to pause, and then she's putting these strategies in place. Yes, simple strategies that work, that have evidence behind them. However, she knew these, and she kept on saying, it can't be that simple. It can't be that simple. And it was like, it is that simple. Trust the process and let's go with it. And we coached her through this and trained her how to cue these into her daily activities and how to extend things and embrace what she was doing. And she unplugs as well. It's awesome. She goes, okay, so these are the 2 hours where I'm unplugging and I'm just here. I'm not doing that. She does this now. She never used to do that. So she's boundary sets. It's amazing what these simple strategies do and can change your life around. She's much more calmer. She's more focused. She's bolder. I love it.
She's bolder.
The other day, she was on a Zoom meeting with some top executives internationally, and she said, excuse me, I can't quite see the person who's talking. Could you please move the computer so I can see them better? And she said, I would never have done that. And how cool is that? It's because she's being present. She's not flicking off. She's realizing, she's listening. She's understanding that she's right here connecting with those people there, like I'm connecting with you. She's listening more. She's responding to things differently in her life and her career, both of them. So it's not just about work. It's about life as well. It's absolutely amazing to see the changes that she's having in her life and her career. So, do you think that the last 50 minutes have been useful so far?
45, actually.
45 minutes. Oh, 45 minutes. Okay, we've got some more coming. You ready?
Yeah,
here we go. And remember, if you stay to the end, we've got a free gift for you as well to help you recognize how to keep being present and how to put these simple things in place going forward. Now, you know that we can never cover everything we need to cover in a 50, 60-minute webinar at all. Not at all. We cannot go into the details, but we have given you those 3 keys so far, and we're going to give you some more applications of how to use those and where to put those in your life. So it's really tricky sometimes because our old habits die hard. And like I said, common sense, but we don't do it because we've got all these habits. It's not very common. It is not common. It's a whole problem with the Victoria lockdown. It's not that common. Anyway.
It's worldwide. Let's admit
it. Busyness and habits die hard. So they stay for a long time. They are like patterns, behaviors, beliefs. Going back right to those questions and those statements that Christine said at the beginning, it's like, I don't have to believe that I have to get through the end of the day exhausted. What were those questions again?
Life doesn't have to be busy. I don't have to have a mindful life.
Yes, I don't have to have a mindful life. I don't have to get to the end of the day exhausted. So these are habits and beliefs that we buy into. And we don't need to. There is a different way forward. We don't have to do that. We can do this differently. So you'll be thrilled to know that we can absolutely do this differently. Imagine for a moment if you were to do these moments of being present. Yep, not a technical hitch. It just takes that moment to pause. And I know for myself that my shoulders go down, my breathing changes. I used to be one of the biggest spazzers in the world. And I said this to somebody the other day. I said, when you came and started working with us, I saw that you're really spazzy. And they went, what? And I went, it's okay. Takes one to recognize one. I used to be like that. I used to just go blah, 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 and I'd rush and rush and rush, and I'd hit things, and I'd walk into things, and I'd drop things, and I'd miss things, and I'd miss cues on things, and I'd forget things, and I would just do that. Yes, I was super highly productive in what I was doing, but there's a better way. There's an absolute better way. So imagine going from feeling like everything's chaotic and busy and you're exhausted to being present throughout your whole day. And you can do this, but it takes action. Like we're saying, it's not just common sense, it's not just information. And the whole thing about what we do around authentic leadership is about it taking action. How can you take action in those 30 seconds, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 or 4 times a day will absolutely change what you do around. It will, if you apply that consistency. That's the exciting thing about it. That's what I love about this job. Okay, cool.
It's so boom.
Now you have 2 choices. We always have 2 choices. Sometimes we have 3 or 4, but you've got 2 choices. First option is to do nothing and return back to your chaos and busyness. Now you can go back and go, oh, it's too hard to see a way through it, so I'm just going to sit in it.
Oh.
You can choose to do that. Absolutely. And some people we know and work with do choose to do that. They see that they're not ready, or whatever the BS is that's happening on their shoulder, to do something and put things in place. So it's your choice, absolutely your choice, whether you want to do something and turn this around, or if you want to take action and make a change. You can do this today. When you get off this webinar at the end of this with your free gift from us, you can make an absolute commitment to yourself right here, right now at 10:50 a.m. on the 5th of the 12th, 2020, that you're going to take action and do your days differently. You can absolutely do this. That is your choice. So you can make a change by having those pauses in place, engaging your senses, smelling the roses, smelling the coffee, smelling the dog's dirty fur or whatever that's been at the beach. Engaging your senses, absolutely, and unplugging for a period of time each day, unplugging when you're with somebody so that you're not distracted, that you're not wanting to be there, but you're actually here. Being present is being here. All of you, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your body, all of you. Absolutely. And I have totally learned to do this. Absolutely, totally learned to do this. I'm so much better at doing this than 10 years ago. Now, I'm nothing special. As I said, I was not good at being present. I would miss things. I would miss my children talking. I could have driven down the road and missed a whole massive big hole in the side of the road because I was so focused on, and then I've got to do this, and then I've got to do this, and then I've got to do that, and then I have to go there, and I have to go there, and I have to put kids up, and that's how I lived my life. But I've learned I don't have to do that. I never used to ease off. I was push. I had to keep pushing, because if I didn't keep pushing, then it was like I was not good enough and I was weak. And yes, that may sound huge, but that's how I felt, and that's what I believed. That if I didn't keep pushing myself to the edge and beyond, and I went beyond as well. That's another story. I went way beyond, and I pushed myself over the edge. And I did not know how to ease off. All I did was push. And I created a lot of this chaos myself. And I did not know how to go, what's next? That can be all it takes. I can do this. I can get through a 12, 14-hour day with energy because I've trained myself to do this. And if I can, you absolutely can too. That's the exciting thing about this. Absolutely awesome that you can too. So you can develop your ability to be present, to keep getting that ability to, how can I be pausing here? Oh, yes, but. If you have yes, but statement, then that's the BS and your limiting beliefs that are popping in there and going, oh, yes, but they said I can. Who controls you? And those pauses, as we saw, can be. Now, that doesn't take away from your productivity. It adds to it tenfold. There's a whole lot of evidence and research around that. There is an art to pausing as well, that you can do it more often. You can do it more succinctly. You can do it like that. And getting from, oh, I feel like crap. Oh, man, it's got this terrible news. Feel like crap. Life's really hard today. You can go, right, I'm on it. Let's do this. You can bring your whole self by training yourself how to do this, and also to unplug and getting through that fear of missing out, that FOMO.